Hey yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your big bro Daniel Bays up in the tube, and let's get tuned in. Back with another one. Back with another one. Back with another one. Yeah, let's get it. When them Zanzi get active, we get reactive, man. Damn, damn, damn. Yep, yep. I'm back again. Damn. I was scrolling in the streets again, and apparently there's someone apologizing on behalf of South Africans out of the blue. Jay, you decide to apologize on behalf of South Africans, actually on behalf of Tyla. I'm thinking, bro, what is this all about? You know, we are in the south of Africa. The country is called South Africa. There's countries at the southern part of Africa as well, sub-Saharan Africa. You know, we have Mozambique, we have Zimbabwe, we have Namibia, we have Botswana. You know, all these countries that are in the south have people that are called colored. None of them decided to apologize. We never apologize for everything because we recognize the colored identity that we have within the sub-Saharan side of Africa. Someone come from all the way up there in Nigeria and decide to apologize on our behalf. And she's apologizing for something that we never seek apologies for. And I'm thinking, okay, you apologizing on our behalf, but on her behalf, on Tyler's behalf. But why though? What gives you the right to think that you can speak on our behalf without even consulting with us to figure out, yo, what's this all about? Like, is it in your place to start talking on issues that have nothing to do with you when you don't even belong in that section of the country? Or do you think that you are knowledgeable enough to start speaking about issues of that part of the continent, actually? You know what I mean? And I thought, nah, man, maybe let's jump into this and figure out what it's all about. You know what I mean? Let me check out the clip. When Mzansi get active, we get reactive. Let's get it.
I think it's because if you're not from where you guys are from, anybody that's like big from a certain type of music, people just like to talk about you guys. 'Cause at one point, I saw conversations with like Tim's, Tyla, like just who's the girl.
I see you and Tim.
Yeah, who's the girl now? And then even when we were having the colors conversation, people were having conversations about dark skinned women from certain places being able to make it versus lighter skinned women, and then they got mad about the colored comments. Like I've seen the conversation around you guys, but more so, should you more so like a skin color thing?
Oh really?
Yes, I've seen that conversation.
I've seen you, Tim's, and Star. Ira Star.
Ira Star is like you're like she's kind of like you big up her a lot, right?
Yeah, I love Ira. I love Thames too.
I don't see hate, like not hate, but comparisons with you, Ira Star.
Really? Well, maybe because we've like we're both. I was signed to Don Jazzy, and she's with Don Jazzy now, and he's you know anyone that's ever been under him, pause, but yeah. No.
You're in New York.
Yeah.
I know that's
Pause.
I don't want it to be taken out of context, but yeah, anyone who's ever been associated with him knows that he does not play that. So he's and just but I love her regardless anyway, and I just have to respect his artist. But
shout out to
regardless of that, I love Ira.
I think too though in music, like whenever we were talking about this earlier with Cardi, whenever you get to a certain point, people just have to like there's that competitive nature that comes in from the fans and just the people and the critics. Like it just happens.
Yeah, but I feel like as artists we have the opportunity to what's the word?
Correct the narrative?
Yeah, earlier on, like I saw that kind of coming with Ira, and I'm like, nah, you guys are not going to build this awkwardness between us. And I'm posting her, she's posting me, so the fans can't even kind of like build that narrative between the both of us. Because earlier on, we were just like, yeah, let's dead this conversation. This is not even that. It's not a topic.
I know you guys are from two different places, but when the colored conversation was happening with Tyla, from your perspective, how did you feel about the conversation and just how she handled it and people's reaction to it?
You guys are serious.
Well, you're very outspoken. Okay, Tiwa.
Ooh, I feel like two truths can be real at the same time. I feel like maybe I don't really know what the first thing she said was that sparked the whole conversation, but I do know that from where she's from, she's she was she doesn't consider, they don't call her black.
They call her colored
because she's mixed, and I get why that would be such a huge thing here because of the history behind that name, I don't know. I think I felt for her a little bit because I feel like she's young, and I don't think she means to come across like that. But where I'm from, when something like this happens, like they say the elder will come and say, on behalf of such and such, we apologize. You know, that's what I feel like. If that wasn't communicated, I would like to say, you know, like on behalf of her or whatever, like we apologize, like we didn't mean it, forgive us. You know, because I don't think it came from a bad place. You know what I mean? I don't think it came from a bad place.
And they're making it bigger than what it needs to be. I've heard her explain it. It makes perfect sense to me when I've heard her explain it. And then, recently she put out an album and it didn't do well, and they were blaming the comments, and I'm like, I don't think that's the case.
They were blaming you too, Charlamagne.
And
I ain't do nothing.
He always says that. He's like, I didn't do that.
But in his defense, you got to know if you come to anywhere at that time when everyone's having that conversation, you're going to be asked. And I think that they should have prepared her to at least glide through the question. Like, it was so like, I'm not answering that. Like, it made it a thing of like, well, why not?
Yeah.
Which she described it in Vogue right after that. And I was like, oh, okay, girl, you could have just said that.
Yeah. But have you guys never, earlier on in your career, made maybe mistakes?
Heck yes.
Never.
He smelt somebody's seat.
That never happened.
Mistakes. She made a very good point. She said, maybe, I'm not sure if she has spoken about it before and how she explained it before. Fact is, she has spoken about it before, and the way she explained it before was appropriate. There's nothing extra that's needed about it. It's just, the problem is that people from this certain country decided that even though she said it in the beginning and she explained it, it was not good enough for them, because they want to be the people who want to feel sensitive about this specific issue. Tyla has never said she's not black. There's no interview where Tyla has denied her blackness. I've looked online. I've searched for many podcast conversations where people talk about Tyla. I've never found an interview or a conversation where she denies her blackness. She's never said she's not black. That's one thing that I've noticed. And then Tiwa was saying maybe she didn't elaborate it well. Yes, she did elaborate it well. She explained it perfectly. You invite Tyla for an interview. You ask her, tell me about your background and where you're from and your upbringing. Tell me about yourself. She comes, tells you about herself. When she tells you about yourself, you decide to become sensitive with the response that you give you. Without her even insulting you. She never insulted you. She just told you about her upbringing, where she's from, and her reality. And then you decide to become sensitive about it. What does that have to do with us? She never denied her blackness. She never insulted you. She never said anything that's sensitive to the reality of an ordinary American person. I remember her words very well. She said, where I'm from, I would be considered colored. I know there's a very sensitive term, but in South Africa, my group of people would be considered colored. What's strange about that? What more is she supposed to say when she has to explain her background and where she's from? I don't understand these people. I really don't understand. And the feeling that I'm getting is these people don't have, it's not that they have a problem with the response. I think they have a problem with the person. The reason they have a problem with the person, I don't know. Because I've noticed a trend where there's a whole lot of people that go against other females from other countries and try to bring them down for whatever reason. Especially if that female is making it and climbing a certain ladder. When that female turns out to be very different and unique, and there's something distinct about her, and she's confident, she exudes that confidence, and she's about herself, and she does her thing, there's a group of people that tends to try and go against them. And I think this colored term is the only thing that they could use against her, just to drag it down so that they can feel better about themselves, which is not cool at all, which is really not cool at all. And the proof about this issue is the fact that there's other celebrities who went to the United States and spoke about the same issue, spoke about the colored identity, aka spoke about it. No one attacked him. Casper Nyovest spoke about it. No one attacked him. Numerous times, comedy sessions, interview sessions, Trevor Noah has spoken about it as well. No one attacked him. But now when a female who's about to make it and is confident, has the vibe, is doing a thing, she's beautiful, she's sexy, she's a great dancer, she's representing her country in everything that she does, all of a sudden we're supposed to have a problem with it. When everyone who's from South Africa, when they went there and they spoke about the colored identity, no one had a problem. What is it with these people? What is it that they want from Tyla? What is it that she's done that's so wrong that Americans try to destroy her? There is no interview where Tyla denied her blackness. First of all, being a color doesn't mean you're not black. You know, even with Tiwa, you go to Nigeria. If someone comes, I'm like, yo, my brother, where you from? They're like, yo, I'm from Nigeria. Okay. So what? It doesn't end there. The conversation doesn't end there. Ordinarily, when an African person speaks to another African person and they're like, yo, I'm from Nigeria. They're like, okay, yeah, you're from Nigeria. Yeah, tell me more. I want to know more. The conversation doesn't end there. You can't just tell me that you're from Nigeria and then it ends there. No, I'm from Nigeria. I'm from this certain part of Nigeria. I'm Yoruba. I'm Igbo. I'm whatever. You know, you have to specify your tribe because all of us are African and all of us are black. But there's something that's distinctive and unique about you and your country from where you're from. You don't just end it on your country. You have to go deep and explain to us where you're from. Even with all the other countries in Africa, you can go to, for example, Somalia, Ethiopia. We know Ethiopia is so diverse. A person can tell you, no, I'm from Ethiopia, but yeah, you're from Ethiopia, tell me more. They're not going to stop by saying, I'm from Ethiopia and then just add it there. They will try to explain which tribe that they belong to in Ethiopia. Same thing, Mozambique. We know in Mozambique, they've been colonized by the Portuguese. There's other Mozambicans that speak Portuguese, and then there's others that speak other languages as well. A person will tell you, I'm from Moz. Okay, tell me more. Where you from? Which tribe do you belong to in Moz? You can't just be black. We don't use black as a blanket definition of our people here in Africa. We're totally different. And then you go to America, I'm black. Yeah. Okay, cool. The conversation might end there. But I know for a fact that the conversations in the USA don't end there. They will ask you, oh, yeah. I'm from, which state are you from? I'm from New Orleans. I'm from wherever. I'm from the Bronx. I'm from New York. I'm from Miami. You know what I mean? Like, they talk about regions. In Africa, tribes are very crucial. I'm from South Africa. Okay, tell me more. No, I'm from South Africa. Okay, black. Okay, if you're black, okay, cool. Yeah. But South Africa, where? I'm from KZN. Okay, which tribe are you from? No. Which tribe are you? I'm Zulu. Okay, Zulu, but Zulu still, there's still certain denominations within the Zulu tribes itself. So you can't just be Zulu. Zulu wakuphi? Ngumagagula. Okay, wakamhlongo. You know, even Zulu itself, it's you know, it's just a subset of the nation itself that comes from KwaZulu Natal. You know, I'm Tswana, I'm Sotho, I'm Afrikaans, I'm colored. That's a reality that we live with in South Africa. Africans, we don't just end by defining ourselves as black. We have to chop it up and explain ourselves as to where we're from, our roots, which is exactly what Tyla is doing when she goes out there. They ask her, tell us about yourself and where you're from. If she was to say, I'm black from South Africa, the conversation is not enough. If Tyla went to the USA and said, I'm a black woman from South Africa, and then she left it as that, South Africans would never let her go. We would have a problem with it. We'll start complaining and be like, yo, Tyla, come on, man. You can't just tell us that you're black from South Africa. Give us your roots. Tell us where you're from, your upbringing, how you came up, your culture. Color is a culture. It's a very serious culture and it exists here. It's a reality and it's not going anywhere. I've heard conversations where Americans also talk about how, you know, the colored construct is a colonial construct and how we so colonized that we don't want to let it go. And then what I would say about it is, what does that have to do with you? South Africans are the ones who decide how they want to identify after colonialism. If we as South Africans feel that the colored identity is too much of an oppressive identity that we need to get rid of it, it's up to us. We will sit, we'll have a national dialogue and say, how do we move forward from this identity, because this identity is not working for us. If it was not working for us. Currently, South Some South Africans would have a problem with it, but colored is a cultural construct. They exist, they're here to stay, and it is what it is. If we feel that there needs to be a dialogue and we need to do something about it, then we will decide by ourselves. No Americans must come and tell us what we need to do with that identity and how much is not good for us. Now they need to get the fuck out of here. It has nothing to do with them. There's our identity, there's purely South African, there's our reality, and we're here to stay. We're not going anywhere. For real, we're not going anywhere. And they like to try and use this American perspective on how we need to view our oppression and how we need to, decolonize ourselves. This is not America. We, as South Africans, decided that this is a rainbow nation. After the oppressive era has ended, we decided that we're going to live together as a rainbow nation. We forgive each other and we're going to live together as in harmony. That's the decisions that South Africans made. South Africans made their decisions. No Americans can come and tell us how we need to address our issues and how we need to heal from our oppression. We know our pain. Their pain is like 100 years ago. Our pain was like 30 years ago. It's still new. So we need to decide on how we move forward from what we went through. So these people need to stop trying to tell us how we need to move forward from our issues. Colored is an identity. It's a racial construct. It's a culture that exists in this country. And there's nothing they can do about it. And I don't think the problem is the colored issue because they know it exists. The problem is the person who identifies as colored. They have a problem with the person because all the other people that spoke about this identity, they never had a problem with it. Let's check out other clips where other South African celebrities spoke about their identity and no one had a problem with. Let's check it out.
I'm wondering over in South Africa, what are you guys addressing socially in terms of social issues? And then you just use the word nigga. And so I'm curious, what does that mean for you guys over in South Africa?
Well, for us, basically, if you're a person of color, you see me, I'm a colored person. And in America, that means something totally different. All right. So I might need to give you a history lesson. How it works. So basically, back in the days, right?
I'm going to play that again. AKA said, me, I'm a colored person in South Africa. No one is attacking him. But let it be no one said AKA is denying his blackness. He never denied it. He just explained to them what he's identified as in this country of ours.
I'm wondering over in South Africa, what are you guys addressing socially in terms of social issues? And then you just use the word nigga. And so I'm curious, what does that mean for you guys over in South Africa?
Well, for us, basically, if you're a person of color, you see me, I'm a colored person. And in America, that means something totally different. All right. So I might need to give you a history lesson. How it works. So basically, back in the days, right, in South Africa, there was the native African people living, just chilling, kicking it, doing whatever it is they do. And then the Europeans came on their boats and shit, and then they basically said, "Oh, that that ass," or something like that, right?
Yeah, they start sleeping with them.
So years later, now we have a whole race of people, which is what you call colored people in South Africa, and you have obviously African people and so forth.
What y'all say?
Like I was just saying, like at home.
AKA is colored. He said it. No one said he denied his blackness, and no one is attacking him because he's a male. Why are they attacking Tyla so much? Is it because of her success? Is it because she's beautiful? Is it because she's confident? Or is it because there's something within the colored identity that exudes that confidence that it makes people so uncomfortable? The way she comes around, her mannerism, the way she slays, the way she dances so nice. It's like it makes a lot of people so jealous that they just want to drag her down. That's the feeling that I have. In these interviews, these people are cool. The niggas are chill. They talk about whatever they talk about. It's all good. They're not overly expressive with the identity when they explain it about South Africa. But Tyla, she's owning it. I think because she's owning it, she's beautiful. She's competing with some of the greatest in the USA, especially in the entertainment industry. I feel like these people are just trying to drag her down because she's never said anything wrong. Let's listen to Casper Visto.
We say colored, which means mixed race, and here mixed race.
Mixed race.
Yeah, I mean,
mulatto,
so here colored is like black, right?
Yeah, colored.
Yeah, so colored is actually mixed race. That's not black in South Africa.
Yeah.
Mixed race is like it's like a dish.
Can you articulate? I've tried to.
Exactly. Casper said it. He said colored means black here in the USA, right? That was offensive. Some people would consider it offensive, and Sway is a very big radio station, but no one attacked him. No one said anything against him. But why is Tyla being attacked for saying the same thing? Because she never denied her blackness. I repeat, I've searched everywhere. Looked for instances where Tyla speaks about her identity. I've never seen an interview or a conversation where she denied her blackness. There's no denial. Ever. Never seen that. Let's check Trevor Noah when he speaks about it.
You know, the difference between how racism feels when you grow up in a country like America or even South Africa, where separate is law.
Yeah.
Based on complexion.
Yes.
Right? And in South Africa, I've never been, but it is, you have the coloreds, is that right?
You and I would be labeled
coloreds,
as colored,
right? Because we're mixed.
Exactly.
And then you have Afrikaan.
Yes, but that's white though. So basically, it broke down into the whole point of apartheid was to separate people into racial groups to divide them because they were the majority, and you need the minority, which was white, was trying to control everything. So
separate everybody so you can control
everyone. You have to convince everyone that they are different, so that they are fighting themselves and not focusing on fighting the common enemy. Right? So they broke it down. Now the irony of this is, and this has happened all over the world. You come to a place, you make the law, and the law is black people shouldn't get with white people. Ironically, a lot of the time, those white people that make those laws are tempted by the dark chocolate, you know. So
i.e. Thomas Jefferson.
Exactly. They're going like, you shouldn't fraternize. You shouldn't fraternize with the. But damn, Nicki Minaj. I mean, I can't front. I can't, you know. And then what do they do? They go in, they dabble themselves, and then there's children, the fruits of this crime. And then what do you do now? You have to create a new race because you cannot argue. Like, what is this race? Are you saying that they're black? And in South Africa, in America, they just went, oh no, you are black. And in South Africa, they further divided, and they said that we don't want to increase the black population, even though we're physically doing that. So we'll say that this is a new group. We call them colored. And so it's a strange world that we now lived in, where black and white equal a completely new thing.
Trevor Noah continued to say in some interviews that he was born a crime because his parents were not allowed to engage with each other, black and white. So being colored for him, he was considered a crime because he was colored, and that's why his mom had to hide and act like she's a domestic worker. He speaks about it all the time, but no one is attacking him for saying he's colored. He's mentioned that he's considered colored in South Africa as a country. So now it begs the question: what is it that's wrong that Tyla did? What is it that's wrong that Tyla said? I'm listening to the guys' interviews when they spoke about the colored identity. Everything is in line. AKA said, I'm colored. I'm considered colored where I'm from. Tyla said the same thing. Why the attack on Tyla? And why not the attack on AKA when he said the same thing? Like, why do they want to attack them? What is it about the industry, especially in the USA, that's trying to drag it down so much for using the same type of words that AKA used? And there was not a problem with him. Is it maybe because the radio station that he went to, were bigger? But she said it on the smaller radio stations. The difference is with the Breakfast Club, which it was bad PR. Bad PR. What the PR team did when they told her, do not answer this question, was not very strategic. They should have told her, okay, it's fine, answer, so that we get it out of the way. I don't think in terms of PR, that was a strategic move. But she was told beforehand, don't answer these questions, because when you answer this question and you say the word colored, people are trying to take you down. Because as soon as she mentions the word colored, there's a whole group or cabal of people that want to take it down, which is really unfair for her as an artist. That's why they decided, don't talk about it, don't say the word for now, until they figure out a proper way to address it. The Matrix is really going against Tyla for whatever reason. Everyone said it, but when she says it, they want to attack her. They say she's rude. I've heard in podcasts when they say she's rude, and then she denies her blackness. But when I listen, I've never heard her deny her blackness. She said, I'm Zulu. I have a bit of Zulu, Indian, Malay, colored, and white. That's a mixture of everything. And ordinarily here we classify them as colored. I don't think people understand how distinct and how beautiful the colored community is, how rich they are in their own beings and their own culture, and how South African they are, because every single person who came from wherever came to South Africa, and they were able to assimilate into their colored community. You should see how they swallow the person in, welcome them, and that person will transform to become colored, including the way they act, they behave, the dance, the lingo, the mannerisms, the way they are, after they've been welcomed by the colored community because it's so rich. Their culture is so rich, so distinct, and so unique that you cannot duplicate it. I mean, it's very rich, and that's something that we should embrace as South Africans because it's very beautiful. Very beautiful. And I think I'm sensing a whole lot of jealousy from other people as well because they're not willing to accept the fact that, yo, this is it. People are colored, and it is what it is. Let's check out this interview where she explains herself and what her colored identity is all about.
So I'm from Johannesburg, South Africa.
What are either some big differences or some similarities from the States to like South Africa?
Yeah, there's so many differences. Like, the dance style, facial expressions, everything that is Tyla comes from Johannesburg and South Africa. Everyone's like, oh, do you go to school with a giraffe? Like, stupid questions like that. It's just, being from South Africa is just a flex. The people, like the parties, the way it looks, especially in South Africa, like there's not a lot of people that make it out. Remember, like, America didn't really seem like a real place, eh? Especially the first time I went to America, I was actually like, what the heck? I'm just in America. No parties beat South African parties. So I'm from Johannesburg.
She said no parties beat South African parties. You can hear the energy, bro. She's representing. She said no place is like South Africa. The vibe, the facial expressions, the way we groove, the parties and everything. That's her. Purely South African. The lingo. She's colored. I think that's where the jealousy stems from. The fact that we represent ourselves. We don't want to take whatever is out there and bring it to us now. We're just being ourselves and doing our own thing. And I think that's where the whole jealousy thing stems from. People are not willing to accept that we have our own thing that's going on out here. And we, it's like when you see Trump being afraid of what BRICS could do to the dollar in the near future. And BRICS is coming. There's nothing they can do anyway. They can lie about us and say we're committing a genocide when there's no such shit. But the fact is BRICS is coming because South Africa is coming to stand on its own, And it goes back to another point. I think it's Mansa Main who said there's something recently they asked Mansa Main to compare South African women with women in the United States. And then he said, here we don't have much variety. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember the exact words that he used, but there's variety because he spoke about how that side there's more. There's like Latinas, Caribbeans, and whatever he said. And I thought, bro, Latinas in South Africa don't identify as Latinas. South Africa has the most beautiful women in the world. That's why you get so much jealousy. We have the most beautiful women in the world, and the women in South Africa, they come in every shape, form, variety, color, dimension, beauty, dark, light, big ass, small ass, slender. The ladies in Cape Verde have nothing on South African women. South African women I haven't traveled over the world, but from what I've seen, I'm happy with South African women. And no other women beat South African women. They're the best in the world. You would never be able to see Latinas in South Africa. They exist, they're here, but the difference is, as soon as they land in the country and they start getting along with people here and assimilating and connecting with the culture, they get swallowed in by the colored community. Once they've been swallowed in by the colored community, now they've adapted to a whole different culture. They don't present themselves to you as Latinas. They present themselves to you as coloreds. South Africa has everything. All the shapes and sizes. These are the most beautiful women in the world. So Tyla doesn't have to apologize. Tiwa Savage, this has nothing to do with you. We don't have to apologize for anything because Tyla didn't say anything wrong. They asked her a question, an answer was required from her, and then she answered. She answered truthfully about her identity, her background, and where she's from. If she answered in any other way, that wouldn't be a true representation of who she is. And when it's not a true representation of who she is, that's a very bad look for South Africans, because we want her to be as authentic as she is when she goes to the world stage. She doesn't have to apologize for who she really is. All the other people spoke about their colored identity and no one had a problem with it. When Tyla speaks about it, people have a problem with it because they have an agenda. She never denied her blackness. She knows she's black. Colored people know very well that they are black. But black is not a monolith in South Africa. When we say black, you need to elaborate further. And that's how it is here. When the Mzansi get active, we get reactive. No DNA, just RSA. It's your big bro Danny B's up in the tube when we just tune in. Until next time, peace.